Today we're going to be exploring different types of line because they are good strategies for developing effective drawings. Our primary learning goals are to be able to explain the difference between an explicit line and an implicit line, identifying and describing the different types of lines, and you should be able to apply these ideas as you create exemplars of each of these different types. So first of all, we need to understand that there are two overarching concepts of line, and that's that the fluid line versus the sketchy line. Fluid lines are continuous. They create a sense of confidence that you are sure in yourself and that you kind of know what you're doing. This is an example by Matisse, and although it is very simple in its execution, there's a sense of sophistication with his confidence. In contrast, you can have very sketchy drawings as well. And it's important to note that sketchy drawings can be very well developed, or they can be very unsure. In a case like this, where you see Rembrandt's jagged, quick, and exploratory style, there is a sense that he has matured his sketchy style and has a sense of confidence in his way of working. Many young drawers will have a very sketchy style because they are unsure of what it is that they're trying to do. If you want to draw very quick, that's fine, but it needs to be developed, and there does need to be a sense of confidence. So the overall qualities of line that we're going to be looking at next are also really important. The first to consider is line direction, and simply lines can be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. The second quality of line is the line thickness, and this we're thinking simply about thinness, thickness, literally, but we also have a third quality, which is that notion of the undulating line, where the line can change its thickness, as in the illustration on the very right of the exemplars on screen. Next, we have line weight, and this has to do with basically the pressure that you apply to your drawing material, whether you are pressing hard or pressing lightly. And you are creating bold, dark lines that are opaque and intense, or are you creating lighter lines that have a sense of translucency about them? The next, we have broken lines. A broken line is made up of different objects aligned together to create the illusion of a line. This is an implied line. The other examples that we have seen before are explicit. The reason that I say that it is implied is that really there's no line there. It's just a series of objects lined up together. And because of the way we read those arrangements of objects or marks, they become a line for us. Okay, so key considerations are the size of the mark or the object, as well as the size of the space or gap between the elements that you are creating. Sharp lines are lines that change direction very suddenly, and you can tell that a line is sharp because it has a vertice or a point at where the change of direction takes place. In contrast, you can have curvilinear lines, lines that slowly change direction. There's a sense of calmness about these types of lines that create an overall feeling of serenity. Lines can also undulate its thickness on different parts of the curve in order to create a little bit more visual interest. Overall, it's important to remember that using different types of lines is an important strategy in helping you to see more opportunities for expression in your work.